Hi guys, Mike Reviews It All here. If you like the kind of reviews that I do here, please give me a like and subscribe and let me know what you think down there in the comments. I'm here today to talk about the sweetened beverage tax, new to the People's Republic of Seattle, starting January 1st, 2018. Put in effect by new Mayor Jenny A. Durkin, and it's an interesting and controversial law. So the idea behind it, hopefully, is to get people to eat less sugar or drink less sugar, obviously, because it's a beverage tax. So the tax, I think the wording in the municipal code is a little manipulative. It says that it's not meant to be passed on to the consumers. It's a tax on the distributors. Well, distributors can't just sell things for less than what it costs them and lose money and go out of business. So that's kind of a fantasy world they're speaking in here. But this is what the tax is. The standard tax rate for sweetened beverages tax is 1.75 cents per ounce in the city of Seattle. So on a 12-pack of soda, I mean, just do the math on that, about 23 cents a piece, you're looking at about an extra $3.50. So your price of soda pretty much just doubled in the city of Seattle. It's bad enough that when you go into the Costco in Seattle, it's encouraging their members to seek out the stores in Tequila and Shoreline, where the tax is not in effect, which is probably what most people are going to really do if they want large amounts of soda. What this is really going to hurt is restaurants, and especially smaller restaurants. There is an exemption for very small distributors. This is not the restaurant. This is the distributor, aka Coca-Cola or Jones Soda, 3J's Distributing, which makes Wired Energy Drink. You start thinking about the smaller companies. It says if a distributor sells products from a certified manufacturer that has worldwide gross revenues of over $2 million but less than $5 million, these sales are eligible for a reduced tax rate of 1 cent per ounce, which means half of the tax, so not as bad. And if a distributor sells products from a certified small manufacturer with annual worldwide gross revenue of $2 million or less, those sales are exempt from taxation. The manufacturer must apply for the exemption with the city. So let's talk about what's being called the Starbucks clause, and maybe you've heard this. And so what it is there's a clause if your drink is milk-based, if the number one ingredient in your drink is milk or a milk alternative, soy milk, almond milk, anything that's considered a milk alternative, this tax does not cover it. So expect the Starbucks in the Seattle area and coffee stands to be changing some of their ingredients, and I imagine some other drink makers as well. Soda, Gatorade, Powerade, those are all covered under this. Now, things that are in use for medical needs, such as medical electrolytes, not including Gatorade, those are exempt from this. Diet, it says diet weight loss drinks. It just says such as Ensure, Slim Fast, things that are meant as nutritional things, and it's pretty vague here, so I almost wonder if some of these people are going to have a prescription or something. I don't know. That part of it's very vague. Some of this is very clear and some of it's very vague. And you can go online and see that. But a lot of people are going to be really upset that the mayor, kind of made this exemption basically for Starbucks because they own the city. There's hundreds and hundreds of Starbucks in the city of Seattle, literally. And so this is being thought of as a poor tax to a lot of people. I say we can't afford these $5 lattes, but now it's going to be a $5 soda. So if you're paying $5 anyways, you're going to go buy the latte, you're going to go buy the soda. Well, now you have a decision, or you got to drive out of city limits. Alcohol isn't covered on this. Alcohol and beer, hard liquor is not covered. It's already covered under another tax, though, in Washington State. So I'm okay with that one. I'm not okay with dictating what people drink. There's been a lot of research, of course, that the USDA has been way behind the times, still pushing a 60 to 70% carb diet, which by new research standards in the last 20 years is absolutely insane and seems to be a recipe for obesity, especially with added sugar, syrups, corn syrups. There was things, it was kind of like the tobacco industry. There was things 20 years ago that were starting to point towards these things, but they didn't have the definitive information. Now they have the definitive information to say that yes, corn syrup causes heart disease. Yes, corn syrup absolutely causes diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, deaths, all these things that, that are killing people. Fat has been villainized for a lot of years. There was that study back, I believe, in the 60s from Harvard, was recently published in the New York Times, where sugar companies had paid Harvard to put out this big piece. It was basically a hit piece on fat, and especially saturated fat, and told people to go to a more carb-based and even sugar-based diet. And that led to a huge amount of obesity. That's a major role in it. And if you're cutting down on your sugar and you're worried about eggs and meat and stuff, I advise you, of course, always do your own research. But there's a lot of research out there saying right now that these things by themselves, the eggs and the meat and the saturated fat and a lot of these things, are not in itself what's causing your arteries to clog and causing the heart attacks and things, but combined with added sugar and corn syrup, these things are working as a conduit to bring the fat and the saturated fat and the cholesterol into your veins. They need a conduit. If you've ever been into bodybuilding or talked to anybody that was into bodybuilding, they will tell you right after a workout, a lot of these bodybuilders will take a drink, their protein recovery drink, and they'll have about 3 grams of carbs to each gram of protein. And that's the only time they might drink sugar during the day. And the reason for that is that sugar works as a conduit to get the protein to your muscles very, very quickly. And you'll see the veins start popping out on a lot of these weightlifters and stuff. It's a great conduit for protein to your muscles, and unfortunately it seems to be a great conduit to basically injecting fat, saturated fat, cholesterol and things into your veins and into your heart. So I believe added sugar is not a good thing. Added corn syrup is not a good thing. Should the government be telling you what to do and how to do it? I think we're smart enough, hopefully, to figure these kinds of things out on our own. To me, it just seems like a tax grab. It's a convenient tax to put out there, and then they have this thing on the other side. Oh, we're doing it for your health. And then, like I said, the manipulative angle of this is only passed on to the distributors. This is not meant to be passed on to the consumers. Well, everyone knows that's a lie. Businesses are there to make a profit, and they're not going to stop making a profit anytime soon. Just like the cigarette company, just like the alcohol company, and the sugar company, is no different. And maybe 20 years from now, maybe we think about this differently. Maybe we think about it like cigarettes or tobacco, cigarettes and tobacco or alcohol or some of these other things. But for right now, to me, it just seems like a money grab, and it seems like a big brother thing to do, telling people not to drink sodas. I encourage people, try to live a healthy lifestyle. I think it's definitely been proven that it's helpful to you to cut out your added sugars. But the government taxing you for drinking Mountain Dew, seems pretty ridiculous, especially at these exorbitant rates. People have taken pictures in Costco's of 24 packs, 36 packs of soda, 30 packs of Gatorade, where the tax has doubled or almost doubled the actual price of the product. So why would they not be going to Shoreline or one of these places real close here to Seattle? If you have any more questions for me on this, I actually did a decent amount of research on this. I will try to answer any other questions that you have, but I want to know what you guys think down in the comments. Is this a good law? Is this a bad law? Am I out of line? Am I overreacting? Let me know what you think down there in the comments. Like I said, as always, please give me a like and subscribe. I hope you like this video and find it informative, and have a great week.